We may now know exactly what the format is going to be for Critical Role Campaign 4 post-overture, meaning when we stop having 13 players at the table kind of going in and out, how will it move forward? People had been asking, is it going to be one group for a period of time? Is it going to be the first half of the night before the break is one group, the second half is another? Is it still going to be very much group changes throughout the show, or is it going to be something like one group for episode 1, next group for episode 2, and then the third group for episode 3, and then they just rotate through? Well, it's going to be the first one if what they said is actually what they mean. And let me explain. There's going to be a little bit of spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched episode 3 yet, maybe don't finish this, but there's nothing huge. So in the cooldown for episode 3, Brennan is asked by Robbie, hey, so since we're now the soldiers, does that mean we're not here next week? Do we get a week off? And Brennan was like, yes, you get a week off. Next week, we're going to end up breaking the other two tables out, and then we'll come back and the soldiers will run their own long-term adventure. Now, I will say, he kind of stutters on what he's trying to say there, and he starts to say long-term, and then he stops, and it sounds like he's gonna say something else, and then he says something else, and eventually he just says adventure. But here, I'll play it for you so you can hear exactly what he says.
So we rode off into the sunset. Does this mean the soldiers have an episode off? Like,
the soldiers have an episode off. So because we are going to move to our other two tables next week, and when we come back, it will be a long-term, it will be an adventure with Thimble, Teor, Cadigan, Wick, and Tyranny.
This leads me to think that we will basically go through all of this. We'll go back to the soldiers who will miss next week. They will go for a multi-session sort of arc, right? An arc and adventure
with Thimble, Teor, Cadigan, Wick, and Tyranny. Heading north to Timony to find Casimir, and maybe if you're lucky, find Sid, find Teor's brother.
And then we'll go to another group who'll go through their own short or long arc or story, and then we'll go through another one. This does mean that we're not going to have as much sort of interaction, except for when these set points hit. So like at the end of the first arc, we know, boom, this is what they did, this is what the result was, and then when the other group is progressing through theirs and gets to that same time, then maybe some interactions can happen. But we may not get this sort of continuous cross sort of contamination between the groups that some might have expected. Now, I'm not saying this is not possible. They may find ways to do this and bring those other players in, but then that will also then impact their timeline when we go to their group. So it's going to be a little weird if they do that, but it's not out of the question. But it does seem, and again, you guys can tell me if you agree with me after what you heard him say, that we will be going basically group 1, story, an arc, an adventure. Group 2 or 3, story, arc, adventure, and then the remaining group will do it, and then we'll circle back around to the first one, because I really doubt that they would go like soldiers go on their own arc, and then schemers go on their arc, and then we go back to soldiers, and we didn't see seekers. I do think we'll kind of rotate through in that way. But now it's time for you to share what you think down in the comments below. If you like nerd culture content just like this related to Critical Role, Dungeons and Dragons, and more, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave that comment down below. Even if you have nothing to say, throw an emoji down there, as will help me greatly and get more of me in your algorithm. If you guys want to support me directly, you can of course become a member here on YouTube or subscribe to my Patreon linked down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, good luck in your adventures.